As I thought about, I learned about the Create-a-Thon, and for me, making music is always something I want to do, and I seem to always find other things to do, mostly work and family and all of that. And so I found with a good deadline and a good purpose, the creative process starts to flourish. And I learned that at the Creative Musicians Retreat, where I basically signed on to write a choral piece for the retreat. And so I wrote it for the chamber chorus, and it was awesome. The coolest part about it was I had never written a full choral piece before. I'd written
Wow.
solos, I'd written duets, I'd written quartets, I'd written different instrumental combinations, but had never written a full choral piece. And I learned from that week there that number one, I could do it. I could do something musically that I hadn't tried before.
Hmm.
And besides that, the whole rest of the week was all encouraging me to do different things, try different sounds, try different ways of making music. And so as I was thinking about what to do, I thought about all the different musical experiences I had during that week. And a number of them kind of bubbled up. I came back with all these great memories of the rocks, the Shevsky, the different instrumentation, the rhythmic parts of it, the musique concrète, and capturing it. And I thought to do an electronic piece really inspired by that musique concrète, but combining all the other things that I did during the week. So for me, it was a lot of singing, it was a lot of playing trumpet, and a lot of just random collaborations with people. So just as I did at the Creative Musicians Retreat, which is take a bunch of music ideas and turn it into a couple pieces, I'm hoping to turn all those experiences and turn the audio clips into a really cool musical experience that hopefully will sound really
Great.
good to everyone. That's my goal.
Wow. Great. And I also think that's quite interesting because nowadays it is 2 years after having the experience. And so
Yeah.
like you can sort of reflect on it and absorb it, and like some different things will emerge
No,
that
that's
would
so
emerge
that's
that
so true because I know when I came back from there, I mean, I think for the next 6 months, my mind was just full of things, and I just all these inspiration. I just started making notes about things I could do and different musical styles I would, and I was exposed to a lot of different musical styles that I was not, did not really listen to before. And I looked at, composers like Steve Reich, which I'd never listened to before. And I was, just started thinking about, different inputs. So since then I've had a chance, I think, to see how my experience there has inspired me in other places. And so, yeah, it's kind of cool to kind of look back and think about what my takeaways were. And yeah, I'm super excited. I've so far just digging into some of the sounds and playing through some of the things and recording them and playing them. It's been really fun so far. The community aspect, I'm not quite sure how to express that musically yet, but that's what I'm kind of excited to aim it toward, because for me the week was just all these little random moments of connecting with other musicians in a way that I've not done since studying music in school. So I'm super excited about that.
And now having brought it back and shared it with your kids as well and involving them.
Well, my poor family, because I came back and pretty much launched into this whole, how we were going to live our music every day kind of thing. Like I was 100%. I had the Kool-Aid. I was in, and I'm ready. And Seth, as I was leaving, he's like, "Well, it sounds like you're, start reinventing your life in music." I'm like, "It's happening. I'm going home. I'm taking it with me." So this is, I mean, again, a couple years later, it's really cool to revisit a lot of those experiences. And again, again, my poor kids, I'm kind of forcing some musical ideas on them here. And the good news is, I think they enjoy it for the most part. But yeah,
Good. And you never know how to those seeds will sort of grow later for them.
right.
Even if they
No,
don't enjoy every minute of it right now, it could be type 2 fun that they like living.
Well, it struck me psychologically, from my time there. Again, I'm in my 40s now, and I graduated from college in 2000. And so, my time there, number one, there were people that were, in graduate school at the retreat that were, studying composition heavily, but still very early on in their career. And there were people up in their 50s, 60s, maybe even 70s that were there and still, thinking about music and how to do it. But what struck me after a couple days is we all were approaching it more like my kids would. It was approaching music as fun and as exciting and as emotional, and thinking of, I cried a ton during that week, just feeling emotions of what I was hearing, So it's funny as I do it with my kids, I realize I'm not trying to bring them up to a musical level that I'm at. I'm trying to get down to the mental level that they're at in terms of not being afraid to experiment, not being afraid to try new things and see music around you. So yeah, maybe
Mm.
they're onto it better than we are.